Hello, everyone. Welcome to the July 7th, 2022 group session. It's our 7-7 portal today. And if you're sensitive like me, in the last few days, I pretty much got hit with some exhaustion. And I think it has to do with whatever's going on globally, as well as the planet Sirius, which is aligned with the sun and really working on our subconsciousness. And I think it's really releasing things in a lot of people that is bringing up things again to be looked at. So be gentle, be kind to yourself. And this has actually sparked me to offer group sessions with the theme of self-care for the whole month of August. We're going to do this on a Wednesday evening. There'll be 5 Wednesdays in August, so you'll get 5 group sessions, and we're all going to dedicate them to self-care. So if you are interested and want to participate, you can ask me for information, but I'll put the link below. But before it's August, we still have July to go, and let's see how we can get some support in this upcoming month. So I invite you to just pause. Maybe you want to close your eyes, focus on your breath. Just allow yourself to relax, tune in. And maybe when I say that word, relax, maybe you immediately feel where you have tension, right? Rather than going into that mode of receptiveness, maybe you immediately go, oh, but wait, I've got this going on and I still have to do that. Either in actual things that you have to do, or maybe even your body might let you know. You might feel some tensing of muscles, or a tightness in your tummy or your belly. Whatever it is, just notice it. There's nothing you have to do, just notice. All right, and so now I'm tuning into the whole group, everybody watching today and in the future that might benefit from this particular session. Now, for those who are joining me for the first time, let me tell you what I'm doing. I'm using my main modality, which is body talk, and I use this extensive protocol. This is my beginning protocol. Well, it's called advanced, but from here, I still have many, many other charts and information that I can go to. And I muscle test, where I ask, what is priority? What is the first thing that we need to address? That needs to be observed and seen, so that we can get into a better state of being, be that your physical, mental, emotional, even spiritual. Okay, so my priority, or the first thing that we need to observe, is within section 1 of this protocol. And it's essential general balancing. And then there's the one thing that comes up, which is SB, which stands for sphenobacular. Those are 2 bones in our skull that meet, and they need to be able to move. They don't need to be locked in, but they need to be flexible and move. So that is the first point of focus. Then we're going to link the movement of those two bones, right? The fact that they're not locked or not too far apart, but just right in connection and in movement. We're linking that to, so when I speak link, it means we are connecting that. We're highlighting to our body mind, hey, if we make this part of our body communicate with another part, which is the linking, then we're going to achieve this higher optimum possibility, the potential of better functionality on whatever level. All right, so this is going into the neuroendocrine cells in our gut, and more specifically in the small intestine, in the duodenum. So that's the first part of the small intestine. And the neuroendocrine cells, so neuro is nerves, and endocrine is basically your chemical or your hormonal information. So it's the whole communication up to the brain as to the functioning of nerve and endocrine and what it needs. So I'm tuning in into if there's more information on that than there actually is. So the disbalanced that's somehow caused in this, in the functioning of the neuroendocrine cells within the duodenum is the it's a couple of things. So one is chemicals in our food. So that could be, you know, additives. Those are all chemicals. But it could also be, for instance, let's say pesticides that's being used and sprayed on our food. And no matter how organic or clean you eat, you know, it gets into the water, and then however fresh, clean the water is, there's still some of that residue. No matter how we try, we get some of these chemicals in our food. Okay, so that's one thing. Then the other is yeah, I want to say it's more closer to home. So what it's relationships, and it is whatever relationship that has caused you stress. So maybe it's a coworker, maybe it was, you know, in the grocery store, right? Because that's still a relationship that you might have with your neighbor, you know, fellow person out of your neighborhood. But it might be really close to home. It might be your husband or your wife, your children. Okay. So the SB that we started with is linking to these neuroendocrine cells with this bit of a disbalance. And then we're sort of packaging that up, and then we're at the same time looking at the relationship of serotonin and dopamine. Now, those are two hormones that the body makes, the body produces, and they are both so-called feel-good hormones. Okay, so the way I'm seeing it is we have these two tubes, and they're being filled with the serotonin, and they're being filled with the dopamine, and then they're being filled with the serotonin, but maybe the dopamine doesn't get filled. Or for some people, it's vice versa. The dopamine gets filled, but the serotonin doesn't get filled. And what we optimally want is the correct level of dopamine and serotonin so that they can function together, so that they can make a connection, a relationship to even improve the feel-good qualities that they carry within themselves. They do more things, but that's our focus. So it's even if the balance between these two hormones gets improved, then we get even more of a feel-good sense. Then we can really use it, or yeah. Rather than it being a mist, then it becomes like a real feeling. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to tap this out. So I will do it, but if you want to do it along with me, then that's absolutely fine. So I'll hold the position for the SB. You can place a hand on your belly, let's say around the navel area. Right above that is really the area in the small intestine that we're looking at. Then we're going to tap. So we're tapping the head, the brain as you breathe in and out. This is messaging your brain, hey, there's a whole bunch of information and things that you need to do to align and get into better functioning. And then we tap on the heart or the sternum, where we're saying to our heart brain, store this information. And then we're tapping on the belly, which is really saying, so anywhere around the navel, right there where you have your hand, and that is saying, integrate, apply this information. Right, so it's like new software in a computer. We put it in there, we store it, and we start using it. Okay, so then this is no longer a priority, but we can do something else. Which is circulation of our blood. And it's to, from, and within our hypothalamus. So that is a part of the brain. That really makes sure that we're just properly functioning. It's very important in our whole endocrine balance. So again, hormones, chemicals. What it really does is it's make sure that we breathe, that our heart rate goes in the right rhythm, that we digest our food, all those things that you don't have to think about. That's what the hypothalamus does. Okay, we're going to link, so that's the circulation of the blood into this hypothalamus. I'm reaching to the back of my head because that would be our contact point. we're linking it to our aorta. So that's the main blood artery that comes from our heart, from the heart, and then it splits and goes all over into our body. So we want that aorta. So if you think about a tree, then it would be the trunk of the tree, right? If you yeah, it's the trunk of the tree. So okay, so you could maybe chop off some branches and you'd still be okay, but you can't chop off the aorta. You can't chop off the main tree. Well, you know, with some trees you actually can, and then it will grow back, but that's not the point. The point is that this is the trunk. This is the most important, the most solid, important part. Oh, I get it now. It's the important part of the tree that so it takes the nutrients from the ground, it puts it through the trunk of the tree, and then it goes into all the branches, into all the little tiny leaves. So it's everything has to go through this trunk of the tree, through the aorta. And then it gets dispersed, right, to wherever it needs to go in the body, wherever it needs to go in the tree. The aorta is the most important artery there is. Just trying to see if there's anything else that we need to know about this aorta. And all I keep seeing is this burst of like solar energy, this burst of I want to call it glitter, but this burst of sun energy, that see, I like making sound effects. So let's just add that, the sun energy. Okay. So we got the blood circulation from the heart to the hypothalamus, within the hypothalamus, and away from the hypothalamus, from the hypothalamus. And then we're linking it to the aorta. And we're gonna tap that out. So take a deep breath in and out. Tapping on the sternum or the heart area. Breathing in and out. And again, breathing in and out while we tap around the belly. Okay. All right, it's no longer a priority. We're going to do something else. Yeah, it's linking into our breathing cycle. So The concept here is when we breathe in and out, there is a movement in our pelvic area. So as we breathe in and out, there's actually a slight movement that's able to happen in your pelvis. Okay, so for some people that's not happening, and they need a little side session here, a little extra focus, which we are calling the lumbar spring, which means the lumbar vertebrae, the lower vertebra in the lower back, they need to be able to move as we breathe in and out. So if they're stuck, then there's no movement in the pelvis. So we're releasing the vertebra in the lower back so that the breath can actually get the movement going into the pelvic area. Yeah, so the breath really moves throughout the body. And so it's within the skull, it's within your rib cage, it's down the spine, it's in your abdomen, and then the pelvic area as well. And of course, that trickles down even into your legs and your feet, right? Everything really moves. Nothing is static, it's constantly moving. All right. Okay, so we're gonna tap this out. You can place a hand on your lungs, and then we're just tapping head, heart, and gut brain. Oh, as I said that, what popped up was the alignment of those three brains within its functioning, within its energy. So the energetic functioning of the different brains, the communication between your gut and your heart, your gut and your head brain, right? That there's a complete alignment of all these amazing parts in our system to be aligned, to be working together, to be in communication with each other. And the heart really leads, right? The head brain and the gut brain follow the heart. Which again brings me back to that our focus for the month of August, where it's going to be about self-care. And self-care really begins with our heart. But we'll dive into that if you want, and join me in August. We'll really investigate that. So for now, this will be it. I hope that you have an incredible month ahead, and please do make sure that you do rest, because it is a important time energetically in the world for ourselves. And yeah, I'm sending you all lots of love, And I'll see you next time. Bye.